Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast. I am your host,
Chuck Manatee.
And in today's episode, we are going to be covering The Devil Wears Prada 2. So this, generally speaking, is not in my wheelhouse, just so you know. But, the first one I can remember, I watched it a very long time ago. We're talking, almost 20 years ago. So what I can remember is that it was okay. Definitely not a movie that I'd rush to the cinema to watch on a normal day. As you could probably tell, I'm into more the sci-fi action and a bit of horror here and there, some comedy, that kind of stuff. But this one I remember was not too bad. The story and all that kind of fun stuff. But there is a teaser which I want to talk to you guys about today for The Devil Wears Prada 2. So as usual, what we'll do is we'll just go through some interesting info with regards to what we have on the teaser at this point, which is not really that much, unfortunately. We'll watch the teaser and I will give you my thoughts immediately after. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So The Devil Wears Prada 2 is an upcoming American comedy drama film directed by David Frankel from a screenplay by Eileen Brosh McKenna, based on the 2013 novel Revenge Wears Prada, The Devil Returns by Lauren Weisberger. It is a sequel to The Devil Wears Prada, which I told you came out in 2006. Very, very long time ago. But when I saw this pop up, the trailer actually kind of, spoilers, impressed me a little in the way that they put it together. Again, not my genre, but it was kind of fun to watch some old actresses from, not old actresses, gosh, just now they think I'm being rude. Actresses from an older movie come back, to continue their, sequel, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I'm digging a hole for myself. Moving on. Okay, so as far as the cast goes, we have Meryl Streep, who will be reprising her role as Miranda Priestley. And like I say in all my videos, I usually like to give little suggestions when I'm talking about the cast. So it's not just, oh cool, here's the cast. Give you one or two movies that you can maybe check out that they've done as well. So as far as Meryl Streep is concerned, it's been nominated and won the most insane amounts of Academy Awards. Used to be my favorite actress at some point in my life. That obviously changes as you grow up or whatever, different tastes and that kind of stuff. But I really liked her growing up, so I thought she was fantastic as an actress. But movies that I like of hers, 1992, Death Becomes Her. She played Madeline Ashton. And that's a movie with Bruce Willis as well, and Goldie Hawn. I don't want to, it's not like I'm spoiling anything. This movie is like 33 years old. But it was produced by Robert Zemeckis, which you might know from Back to the Future. But a really cool premise for that movie. So if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. Riverwild, nice action movie, because she's usually playing like a posh type person in some of the movies, not the earlier stuff specifically, but the more modern stuff. The Mamma Mia is just playing like sort of like a more chilled out character. But Riverwild was really cool. That came out in 94. So if you haven't checked that one, do yourself a favor. That's really cool. But that would be my suggestions for now. If she comes up again, I'll give you more. But that would be the two I'd send you to first. And then we have Anne Hathaway. and she's going to be reprising her role as well. Only the last person I'm going to speak about is not reprising their role from the first one, so I will go through that or tell you as I go. So she's reprising her role from the first one, where she played Andy Sachs. But yeah, I'm not recommending this, but her first movie was Princess Diaries. Again, when this came out, 01, I was like 17, and yeah, I was more into Harry Potter and, you know, Pitch Black, Fast and the Furious, the start of Mission Impossible was kind of around there, a little bit before that, but, you know, but people know from Princess Diaries. But what I would recommend is Get Smart, and that came out in 2008, so if you haven't seen that, definitely go check it out. It's a comedy, like a spy action kind of vibe. Yeah, and it's I forget his name. Gosh, how could I forget his name? But anyway, there's another guy in that movie who I cannot remember his name for the life of me now. Steve Carell, there you go. And Dwayne Johnson, by the way, was actually in it. But Steve Carell and Anne Hathaway were the main actors in that movie, so definitely go check that out. Third on this list, we have Emily Blunt. She's playing Emily Cholton. And Emily Blunt has been in a few things, you know, The Muppets in 2011, Gulliver's Travels, that's actually a movie that she did with Jack Black. It's a 2010 movie, so I would say that. But one that sticks out to me as far as a movie to watch is Edge of Tomorrow. It's like a science fiction action film or whatever, and it's got Tom Cruise in it. So yeah, and it's based on a Japanese light novel. All you need is kill. So yeah, it's kind of has like that Groundhog Day vibe, where it's just repeating the same day. So live, die, repeat, I think is what it says on the poster, or if I can remember correctly, something to that effect. And then another person reprising their role would be Stanley Tucci as Nigel Kipling. And yeah, he's done a bunch of different genres of movies. But if you're talking about older ones, he was actually in America's Sweethearts. That's with Julia Roberts and Catherine Zeta-Jones. John Cusack, I think. And then, who else was in that? But it doesn't matter. But America's Sweethearts, if you like yourself a chick flick or whatever the case is. And then, of course, he's been in all of the Hunger Games. Not all, but some of the Hunger Games. Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters. He actually played Dionysus. So yeah, if you haven't seen those, go check those out. A lot of fun. Then we have Tracy Toms as Lily. She's also reprising her role. Tracy Toms has been in Annie. She plays Annie's mom. That's in 2014, and that's pretty much what I've really watched of her stuff. I can't really say I know it too well. Yeah, I've had a look at the movies before I did this episode, and there's not really much I know on that besides Annie. But it's okay. Like it's okay movie. It was fun to watch, I guess. Like, it's not like this movie that I was like thinking about forever and a day. It's actually the first time I've thought about it since I watched it in 2014. Yeah, and then we have last, as far as the people reprising their roles, is Tibor Feldman. He was in Law & Order, Convictions, The Sopranos, Third Watch, and New York Undercover. Of course, The Sopranos is the one I would say definitely go and watch. Law & Order, if you like that kind of stuff, I know my mom and dad really like that kind of thing, but it bores me a little. I'm not really into that sort of court drama, soap opera type stuff. It's not really my scene. But if it's for you, then go watch Law & Order. Then we have... so that's the last as far as this reprising their roles, but this one I wanted to mention specifically because this is a monster cast and it's going to take too long to do it in one video. But apparently, Sir Kenneth Branagh, because he's a Sir now, so he's been knighted by the King or Queen. I'm not sure when. I didn't actually go that in depth into what he was doing. I wanted to just check out his movies. but yeah, like there's a few that I would, have a look at. Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit. That's definitely something you can check out. I believe that would be the sequel to the one that Tom Cruise done. I could be wrong, but I think I am right. But then there's also two that are kind of like similar in the vibe or the style. The one is Murder on the Orient Express, which is a novel from Agatha Christie. If you can remember, we actually spoke about her earlier in the week. And then also Death on the Nile, which is also an Agatha Christie screen adaptation. So this is that was a sequel to a film like in the 70s or something to that effect or whatever. But they both like a sort of murder mystery vibe or whatever, Glass Onion, that kind of stuff. In a way, I mean, they all have like a similar vibe, I guess. But that's the kind of stuff that she writes too. So, 2017, Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile. But just to enlighten you, so this is why I'm not going to show all the faces on screen, but it's a huge cast. So we have Simone Ashley, Justin Theroux, Lucy Liu, Patrick Bramall, Caleb Heron, Helen J. Shen, Pauline Chalamet, BJ Novak, Conrad Ricamora, Rachel Bloom, Sydney Sweeney, Donatella Versace, and Lady Gaga. So this is a monster cast. I'm sure, like it's all like the celebs that are kind of in that fashion space, I guess. The Devil Wears Prada 2 is scheduled to be released in the United States on May 1st, 2026. So a little like a month after Super Mario Galaxy movie. So that's kind of scheduled for then. But without any further ado, let's watch the trailer and I will give you my thoughts immediately after.
Miranda? Took you long enough.
And that was the trailer for The Devil Wears Prada numero 20. So not really much to it, and I really hope we don't get hit because of the music. You can't get hit for that trailer too much, I don't think. But the music is definitely where I hope we're not going to get hit. Hold thumbs, people. But anyway, it's basically you see these fancy shoes from the bottom and from a very low angle, following the walk to the elevator. Then boom, you see Meryl Streep. You're like, cool. And the music kind of cuts the minutes the elevator's closing. As it's closing, Anne Hathaway kind of stops it, walks in, and Meryl Streep says to her, "It's about time," which is obviously a light-hearted, fun way of saying, hey, we haven't done this movie in ages, and this is the sequel coming out. I mean, 19 years is a very long time in between movies. But so that's what I thought was kind of fun to maybe talk about. Is the way that they did the trailer. So it is a teaser, and there's a little sort of joke to say, hey, we haven't done this in like a long time. It's about time. They both put on, Anne Hathaway puts on her shades. They both have a little smile, and the elevator closes, as you saw. So and I mean the cast, all of them are like Academy Award winning and nominated. So as you saw at the end, Meryl Streep, Academy Award winner, Anne Hathaway, Academy Award winner, Emily Blunt, Academy Award nominee, Stanley Tucci, Academy Award nominee. So that's right at the end. So there's 4, and then as I showed you, there's a monster cast adjacent to that. There's even a Sir there. So, you know, Sir, like he's knighted and everything. So yeah, I thought that would be a cool little something different from Chuck today, and not really the line of stuff that I do, but I thought it was like a nice little cheeky trailer, little clawback to, you know, way back when 06, when the first one came out, and I thought it was a cheeky way to market the movie, and it's actually effective. It's got me talking about it, so there you go. Yeah, but that is it for the trailer and, you know, my little chat about it, whatever. If you liked the trailer, if this is your scene, then pop that in the comments below, as well as if you enjoyed today's episode. And then please do show us some love by liking, sharing, and subscribing. But that is it for today's episode of the Everything Podcast, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.